Alright, today I want to talk about why we lie and how to actually stop it. I'm going to give out the main methods that you could use at the end of the video, so stick around and find out. Don't worry, it's not going to be so long, you don't have to skip all the way there. But yeah, this video is inspired by the book called Lying, written by Sam Harris, and an episode I listened to the other day by Freakonomics Radio called Why Is I Don't Know So Hard to Say. We talk a lot about honesty. A lot of people talk about honesty, how they want to start telling the truth more. But I don't think most of us really understand what it is. Most people believe that to stop lying, all you have to do is start telling the truth more. But the truth is, once lying becomes a habit, it stops feeling like a decision at all. It becomes an instinct. It becomes a reflex. And that's one of the key takeaways from Sam Harris's book, Lying. He explains that lying isn't always some sort of calculated act. It becomes second nature, especially when it works. You feel uncomfortable, you feel concerned, you feel cornered, you feel uncertain, and your mind jumps to, I'll just say something else, something safer. And just like that, a lie slips out of you before you even notice. Because it's not really you being dishonest. It's more about you trying to protect yourself. You trying to run away from those uncomfortable emotions that you're going to feel. And I find this gets especially worse when we live in a world that constantly pressures us to respond quickly, to have an opinion ready, to perform certainty. And that's something I heard again in a powerful episode of Freakonomics Radio, episode 56, Why Is I Don't Know So Hard to Say. It was released back in 2012, but I find the points becoming more and more important as time passes and very, very insightful in today's society. It broke down why we're so uncomfortable admitting when we don't know something. Today, we're expected to have answers for everything, to speak up, to respond immediately, to never appear uncertain, to have an opinion on all the questions we're asked. But here's the truth. You're not supposed to have all the answers. You don't need to have an opinion about everything. And this expectation, it makes us more likely to lie. And when we lie, it's not out of malice, but it's rather more to keep up, to not get in that awkward that space of the conversation, just to avoid awkwardness. So if you really want to stop lying, it's not about saying the truth more often. It's about learning to do something much harder, but frankly, way more powerful. Pausing. That's it. Just pause before you speak. Slow down. When you're speaking, slow down. Like you're high, like you're absorbing the information in slow motion. Take a breath, take a beat, and ask yourself these questions. What are they really asking me? What do I actually want to say here? Do I even want to answer this? Am I about to lie just to make things smoother? And what am I protecting myself from? That pause is where the magic happens. Because when you slow things down, you get to decide how to respond instead of instinctively reacting automatically. I don't know if that works together, but yeah, let's say. And here's the key. Sometimes your answer isn't the truth. It's silence. Not saying anything, choosing not to respond, and that's okay. Silence is seen as a weakness, but it's actually a strength. It's a choice, a boundary, a sign that you're listening to yourself first. You're putting yourself first, and you're choosing not to answer. We've been trained to think that silence means we're hiding something, but often it means we're protecting something. Protecting an answer that we don't want to give them. We're not obligated to give them an answer. So next time someone asks you a question that puts you on the edge, don't panic. You don't owe them a quick answer. You owe them anything you're not ready to share. You don't owe them an answer at all. You can pause. You can say, I don't know if that's the truth and you don't actually know. Or you can stay in silence. Or you can tell them, I don't want to give you an answer. I don't want to tell you. That space, that stillness is where real honesty begins. It's not about being brutally honest every second of the day. It's about learning how to be honest on your terms. To be honest with yourself first before anyone else. Because at the end of the day, it's your life. It's your answers. It's your decision what to give them and what not. So if you're trying to lie less, start by listening more. Start by pausing before answering. And start saying, I don't know, when that's the truth. When you don't know, and that's frankly the honest answer. And saying nothing when you have nothing to say. Or when you don't want to give them an answer. You're not obligated to give them any answer. You're not obligated to take any information out of them, right? And that's the kind of honesty that builds trust. Not with others, not with anyone in the world, but with yourself. Because you're being honest for yourself at the end of the day. Obviously you want to be honest with your friends, your partners, family, but you choose to be honest, so be honest with yourself, right? I like this one quote from Fight Club. I know so many people say, oh, Fight Club's not a good movie, or they slander it because it promotes some negative stuff or some different ideologies or such like that. But I like the one quote by Tyler, or one thing he says, never be perfect, never be complete, and let the chips fall where they may. I don't think that's the exact quote, but something along those lines. You're not obligated to know everything. You don't have to know everything. Let the chips fall where they may. If you don't know, you don't need to answer. Or you can just say, I don't know. And let the chips fall where they may. Because that's honestly the truth that you're giving them, right? That's the honest truth. That's your truth. And that's what you should choose to give. Thanks for listening. Catch you on the next one. Carpe diem.